Hello, Planet Sewers. Welcome to the franchise real-time series. Today we're going to build this little guy here. It is a little food court with some restrooms off to the side of the Binturong Pass. We did Binturong Pass in episode 5. So I started with just a bathroom. I really didn't have any inspiration that I used image-wise. I just wanted to continue the same theme that I had going on with the Binturong Pass. So when they come out, they have something over here to engage guests and to keep them moving, because they were kind of walking in and then walking back out and creating a little bit of a traffic jam inside that pass. They really weren't using the paths on the outside. And what I'm going to do is actually lead this into a sun bear habitat, which I did start. I just haven't had a chance to really fix it. So I'm not sure how many of you that watch everything I have. I know that not everybody does. And if this is the first time you've been here, welcome. Go check out all my other stuff. I got lots of fun projects. Currently I have Houston Zoo as an ongoing, and I have the franchise. And then I have a live stream of building the St. Louis Zoo entrance that I've been doing. And then little projects here and there. But anyway, if you've been following along, thank you as well. But all that leads into, it's been a week for me. I started a new job on Monday. Woohoo! And then also I moved my son back to university or college, whichever one you like to call it. I did that on Saturday. It was about 3 hours from where we live. So it's been a really packed week for me, and I'm adjusting to my new schedule. And so I didn't quite finish the sun bear, but I'll have it next week. Right here I'm fighting the game. I really did not want to change the grid height to 0. Sometimes when you change grid heights, it gets a little crazy on you. And I really didn't want to split it either, but I ended up going with the split. And the main reason for that is, for me, I find when I change the grid in the panel on the right to anything but 4x4, if I try to change it back, things don't always line up the same. Maybe there's a trick I'm missing. But anyway, I find it just kind of makes things difficult when I want to go back to the 4x4. So I ended up just splitting that out, and I was looking for some different things, and then I just decided. I also couldn't remember what those were called, so I was getting the name, and that way they wouldn't snap either. They were not being my friend, so I had to navigate them a different way, because when they snapped on top, they would rotate. Even when I turned rotate off, they would do the same thing. And so I just aligned it, and then I realized I forgot to turn the 45-degree snap on. So if you hit spacebar, that is a quick way to get there, then mousing over to hit the little tick box that it has. So I just lined it up. That way I could make sure it was flat, and I'm not trying to eyeball it. So I'm just scooting these around. I'm going to plop that down, and then get 4 of them up here. And I'm remembering as I put these down that they don't quite fill up the whole thing. I think part of it is too, I have them kind of sunk a little too far in, so I'm gonna give those a little lift up, and then we're gonna highlight those 2, and Control X is the shortcut key to advanced copy. It also shows up, you can click it as well in the little menu that pops up in the on the right. So there's multiple ways to do it. If you hover over those little bubbles, sometimes they give you the shortcut key as well for different things, because you can duplicate, you can move, all the options that are available for that group or piece. Some won't let you do certain things depending on how you've selected it and what they are. So I decided I wanted to go ahead and just cover this up. So I'm gonna put this little door on it here. I was looking at different doors, trying to decide if that was in fact the door I wanted. And so I'm gonna just get that on there, and I pulled it out just a little bit because I'm going to put the concrete wall to cover that up. I was kind of looking, do I want to do 2 doors? Do I want to do 1 door? I went ahead and just went with the big 1 door instead of 1 on each side. I was struggling with being very literal right there. And they're like, oh, yay, we finally have a bathroom in the zoo. The guy's like, I found it. It's over here. I had forgot to put one in the other food court that I did on the other side. In franchise mode, you do kind of need quite a bit of different shopping opportunities for guests as they go through the zoo. Unfortunately, it kind of is, I want to see an animal, now I want to go to the bathroom and eat, now I want to see an animal, and I want to go to the bathroom and eat. So I tend to kind of build a little circular so they can kind of go different directions. I had a little cut there. It was just me staring at the same thing for a little while. I probably had to get up and let the dogs out. So I made a blueprint as well of that little bathroom hut. I'm going to copy it and put it around these other ones. And so I'm just looking how I want to space these from each other. And I've decided to kind of put them 2 squares apart. And then I probably should have made it just a little bit wider, but that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this path as well, because I don't think it's going to let me do the grid the way I want it. It won't connect. So I'm going to blow those up and restart the grid and then just connect those into it. Now you don't have to necessarily on the shops have to connect them into the path. The guests will be able to still queue without it being directly connected in. And I was kind of waiting for those people to kind of get out of the way, and then I gave up. It will respawn them at the entrance, and they'll either leave or they'll come back in depending on how happy they were. So I really was not trying to kick people out of my zoo. Now I am going ahead and connecting in the bathrooms for sure. I don't know if they can get in the bathroom if it's not connected. And I still like to try to get these to connect in if I can. So that's what I'm doing. Even though you can see they're using it, I guess I don't need to waste my time, but I like to do it. I'm just weird that way. If it won't let me, then it doesn't let me. I don't worry about it. So I'm waiting to see if it'll give me the little indicator that it's connected, and on that one I couldn't quite get it, so I gave up on it. Originally, even though I made the blueprint, I was going to try to just copy this over, but I can't because I did split that top part out, so I can only do them in groups. And so I'm taking that bathroom out of the group, and I think now is where I'm going to make that blueprint. I'm going to take these guys out of the group as well. I don't want them to be in the blueprint. I just want that shell so I can copy it over. Since it's 2 groups, I had to make the blueprint and able to set that down, and that's what I did. Anyway, that's the problems you run into sometimes when you split things out and you actually do want to duplicate it. So I'm looking for the blueprint I just made. So I couldn't remember what I named it. It wasn't popping right up. And there it is. So restroom shell. It wouldn't find it under just shell. So I was hoping I could kind of just get it to recognize that shop and maybe set down, but I think it's not, again, because I have 2 groups on that blueprint, so it's not giving me that option to add it into the group of the little shop shell there. So I'm using X to set this blueprint down, and I'm looking at the edges as well as where that little shop shelf edge is to set that down, because I'm going to get rid of the door obviously and the bathroom signs so that I can properly show off what it is. So I'm going to get rid of that door, and I'm going to use the shop front I'm gonna get that concrete piece and put it on front there, and hopefully when I put it with that group, it'll all line up real nice and I don't have anything peeking out. If I do, that's okay. I can just nudge it around some more. And originally, I can see right now, it attached it to the shop front and not to the actual group itself. I'm not sure if I catch that and fix it. And then I just copied over one more of those little arc pieces or ceiling piece to kind of create a little cover there, just where people would sit down so they have some cover. And putting the balloon sign in, I didn't catch that it's peeking through until a little bit later, and I tried to move it a little bit more down, but I do like the sign, so I went ahead and just kept it. If you're following along and trying to build with the series, you don't have to use that sign. You can use whatever sign you like, obviously. And I just searched for Looney to find the signs for the Looney balloons. So I'm setting down that same blueprint. I could have made another blueprint and not had to change the fronts, but I didn't. I just made the one little blueprint, and I will blueprint, I've already blueprinted it, but I will put the bathroom up by itself, and then I will put up everything when it's done as a group. I guess I could put just these 4 too. I have to see how it's connected. I didn't think about it before I started the sun bear, so I may have to split those out so it's not part of the little blueprint for just the 4 of them. Removing all the signs I don't need. I went ahead and did both of these at the same time so that I can put the shop front on at the same time, instead of putting one down, fixing it, putting another one down, fixing that one. And I was struggling to get it to connect to the right group. I'm not sure if I actually fixed that. I'll have to check the file, because I can see that one connected, this one did not. So yeah, I got rid of it and entered into the group and made sure it connected to the right group instead of to the shop, because I want that wall to connect instead of have that different look where it doesn't connect. And just so in case you don't know, if you do want the walls to connect, all 4 walls, if you're making just a simple square, need to be on the inside of the grid. If you put any of them on the outside of the grid, they will not connect. With some walls, it's not that noticeable, but if you're using the East Asia, the stone walls, they do connect in a real intricate way. So they do both have to be on the inside section for it to make that nice, pretty connection. And then for the signs, I always just do a little search for whatever the shop name is, like Cosmic Cow. I didn't put full cow, I don't think, on that. Maybe I did, because there's, I think, 2 different cosmics. You have the ice cream, and you have I think another cosmic, like a Slurpee or a shake thing. But anyway, I just searched for the name of the store, and this one's Pip Shot Water. So sometimes I'll search for it by Pip Shot, and it shows you all the different signs for Pip Shot. There's 3 of them, it looks like. If you just type water, I'm not sure what it's going to give you, but those 4 little signs for the water will show up. And so I just kind of wanted them, I don't know, I liked the big signs. I wanted to use them. I don't use them very often. It does kind of go into the ceiling, but I just thought they were cute. I just wanted to include them since I used the big bathroom sign. I thought it kind of went with that, so no matter which way they're coming, they see the signs. I do end up taking some of them off on the other side because I make the decision I'm going to build some bear things over here. And now I am trying to line up the grid here, because this is where I'm going to start the bear. I'm going to give you a little sneak peek into it. I really wanted that to connect, but it didn't connect, even though they're in the same grid. So that does give me a little bit of trouble later on. And I'm thinking about here, do I want the concrete like right next to it or just scoot over? Once I get my habitat kind of thought out, it does change a little bit with the pathing, trying to get it all to work. And then I'm moving this to 8 meters so that I can start a curved path off of this grid. And it's real tricky to get that started. And I'm turning 90-degree off because I don't want that here. I want it to curve back to that that entrance path that I have going. So I do have a little bit of a struggle getting those to connect. These are done as a grid, and I wanted to keep the grid, and I thought I had gone far enough out away from it, but no, the path really wanted to connect right there, and it actually accidentally put one in. I didn't want that there, so I end up so I take that away. And there we go. It finally decides, oh, this is the path that you want to connect. And I use Z right there to kind of get it to straighten out. And so the inside part of that is going to be the Sun Bears land, mostly all their land area. And then on the other side, I'm actually going to put in a water area for the bears, because the bears can swim. I can't remember if they updated them as deep divers or not, but they are able to swim. So I'm gonna put in a big pond for them that's gonna be above ground so that the people can see them swim. That's the plan for the other side. So I'm going to probably do something similar like I did with the Binturongs and create some way for them to climb over the guests. So we'll see what I come up with. It is just all coming out of my head. I'm so sorry the episode is so short this week. I know they're usually about an hour long. Maybe you're excited. Let me know. Do you like them shorter? Would you rather me break them up a little bit into a smaller episode or do the whole thing? Let me know in the comments if you have a opinion on that. And I hope you guys have a wonderful week. I will be live streaming this Thursday for the St. Louis entrance zoo that I'm working on, just the entrance. I hope you guys have a great day. If you like my content, please consider subscribing and hitting the like button. May the RNG odds be ever in your favor.